Welcome to Unjustified, where we always cover the truth, the facts, the good, the bad, the ugly, on an unbiased and sometimes very unpopular opinion. If you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe now and hit the notification bell, and that way you will receive all of our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for being here, and we do hope you enjoy today's video. Welcome to Team Unjustified, Midge. Thank you so much for your extra support to the channel. It's great to see everybody here. We've got Truth Seeker, Tumbleweed, MM77. Am I missing somebody? And Kelly and Rachel. That's what I'm seeing. Hello, Kelly. Hey, MM. How are you guys doing this awesome Friday night? And of course, we got Dave. Got to have Dave. Be lost without Dave. So, are y'all able to catch this footage? Hello, Sherry. Good to see you here. Were y'all able to catch this footage on the premiere? Oh, we lost Dave. Yeah, it might be like that tonight. Dave seems to be having some issues. I don't even know if it's him. It actually could be on my end. My main internet is down, so I've had to connect to my secondary internet, which is not that great. Anybody got AT&T? They know their high-speed internet ain't high speed. Welcome back, Dave.
Thank you. I was wondering when I was going to get kicked out again.
It could be me. It could be on my end.
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's kind of weird. So,
yeah, the stuff, these footages I'm putting out now, I have never put them on the channel. You know, they're just part of the digital discovery. And I thought, well, you know, I'm going to dump the whole discovery onto the channel here. That way it can always be referred back to. And we're doing the best we can to have these live discussions after the premieres so we can talk about the premieres, you know, and what was in these digital discoveries. And I believe there's some that a lot of people just haven't seen, you know. Hello, Julie. Good to see you. So, yeah, there's also tomorrow. I'm also trying to keep it in order, right? So we did the 13th, the very initial call and all that with the very first premiere, right? And then we did the 14th. And then we're going, you know, into our next premiere is also going to be the 14th. Look at this. I'm buffering up there. It will also be on the 14th because we know Chris went and had his initial interview at the police department on the 14th in the evening. So that's what our next premiere and discussion will be about, is on his initial interview. And that should be really interesting, don't you think, Dave?
yes, I do. I don't know. Just from watching these videos again, too, it's like I've seen them before, but I know a lot of people haven't. And there's a lot of information there that really it's not inside the discovery anywhere. So, again, more questions. So, hopefully everybody got to see them all today.
Yes, isn't it so weird that when you look at them again, like it's like you always pick up something different in them. It's
right.
just no matter how many times we look at them. Hey, Tammy, good to see you.
I actually found it more useful watching the video than to have somebody play the video and keep on stopping and starting and stopping and starting. When there's an even flow, you seem to keep more information. So,
Yeah, I was thinking that might work out better because, I know that they're out there. But yeah, the stop and the conversations in the middle, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that to look at it as a whole and to be able to actually converse with people over in the chat as it's going, seems like you would get more out of it than I don't know, when you stop and talk about it, you kinda get lost on what you just or I do, on what you've already looked at, and then you're focusing more on what you're talking about, and it's just, yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it's good to kinda mix it together like that, you know what I'm saying?
No.
And also, with it this way, if you ever need to come back to it and refer to something, you don't gotta go through all the talking and this and that, you can just go right to it.
Right.
It's already there, and even other creators, if they wanna use it, they're welcome to, of course. Yes, I do too. I like Dave's accent too. And he don't think he's got an accent. I'm like, "Yeah, you do. Yes, you do."
Speak for yourself.
No, I ain't got no I don't have no accent. I just really don't. I talk like everybody around here.
That's right. Yeah. So with all the videos from today, I hope everybody here caught that. Does anybody have any questions that they're not sure of, or something that they never seen before, or just not quite sure what it was that they saw?
Yeah. Because that's why we, want to do the discussions afterwards so we can discuss what we just seen in the premiere. Also, everyone, Tammy Barnes, that is our mod out here, she has a channel. It's really awesome. You guys, if you're into the tarot readings, she's really good and she does it quite often. So you guys go join her channel. I mean, you can thank me later. Tammy, go ahead and put your link in, hon. But, I was noticing, Dave, there was some talk about the shovel. I mean, that could be a good starting point, and tumbleweeds, says the white van as well.
Yeah.
So, that could be good starting points.
Yeah. I think the shovel's one of the biggest things. That and the stuffed animals. But with the white van, people have been kicking that thing around for, well, ever since it happened. So we're not sure about that one, really.
Right.
And with that Home Depot video that was shown today,
Mhm.
there's actually another bit to that,
Mhm.
where they actually have the video surveillance that Home Depot gave them. But unless you know what the heck you're looking for, you're going to be spending hours looking at the front door of Home Depot. So
Yes, I do have the extended version of Home Depot, and there I may just sit down, Dave, and have to watch that, at some point just to see if I can find it, because it's in there. It is in there.
yeah, well, that's the
But
same as McDonald's too. Though they asked for their footage,
and
and
I
they
have
only
that.
gave them enough thumb drive to do the inside, but they wanted the outside too. But nobody followed up on that.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that they ever did drop that one. Let's see. Um, I have the security footage from Home Depot. I have the North Register footage. I think that's going to be from the convenience store. I have the footage from Home Depot, which is a big one. and I have the South Register footage from the convenience store, and I have security. I don't know, Dave. I may have that. I need to look through these. I've got a lot. I'm glad I downloaded it when I did, really, or we wouldn't have this, you
No,
know.
it'd be all gone again.
Yeah, I mean, and I they're probably going to be pissed that I'm putting it out here, but hey, it was given to me, so I'm going to share it.
Hmm.
It's been what 3, 4 years
4 years.
almost, so yeah, so whatever.
Kelly said they're not understanding about the stuffed animals. Well, Chris said that he buried the stuffed animals with Shanann. So when they dug Shanann up, they didn't find anything. And if you see in some of the um, pictures, they have another hole dug beside the grave. Well, that was them looking for the stuffed animals again. So
Mhm.
once they told Chris that they didn't find anything, then he says, "Well, maybe they blew away." So that's what's going on with the stuffed animals.
Yes. I have let's see. Let me see if I can pull that up in the discovery. Let's see.
Welcome, hide and seek. It's been a while.
Hang on just a second, Dave. I'll be back over there with you.
Yeah,
I'm looking for that.
Julie, with the security cameras and that, like CCTV and the doorbell cams, imagine there's more than what they're telling us again, because they also have cameras on the light standards too, like the street lights or traffic lights, I should say, and none of that was disclosed. But then again, you have Anadarko that they say have over 200 cameras. 100 of them are just at the Anadarko office. But with that, they said, well, none of them are working. They don't service them. So when they go down, there's nobody there to fix them. And again, who knows if they're recording? So it seems like anywhere or anytime that there's any video that was supposed to be used for anything, like at the bars and that, according to them, they said, well, it wasn't working at the time. So I don't know if you can actually believe that or not. It seems kind of funny that all these cameras are not working. So right now, Kimberly's looking for, I don't know if you guys ever seen it. It's a sticky note. And what it is from one of the police officers' hand notes. And when they did a search warrant on the truck, they actually found the stuffed animals inside the truck.
Okay, Dave. I found parts in the discovery about the animals, so I really can't get it any bigger than that. So I mean that's really the best I can do. But if anyone wants to know the page number, this is page 535 of the discovery. And the first mention of the animals is I told Chris he took the girls out of the house with their blankets and animals because he cared. And Chris said, I mean, I'm always caring for these kids. There's nothing in the world. They're my life. Okay, and then going to the next mention of the stuffed animals is going to be here. I asked Chris if that was when he packed up the girls' special stuff, their blankets and stuffed animals, and Chris nodded yes. I asked Chris how he got the girls out to Survey 319, and he explained that he took them in his work truck. Chris said he put Shanann and the girls right behind his driver's seat. Okay, going on down to more about the stuffed animals. I asked Chris if they were wrapped in a sheet. No, wait a minute. I asked Chris if they were wrapped in their blankets, and he shook his head no. I asked where the girls' blankets and stuffed animals went, and he advised that they probably blew away in the wind. Chris said the blankets and stuffed animals were left by the sheet, which was near Shanann's grave. Chris explained that he dug Shanann's grave using a shovel from the back of his work truck. Chris said he always had a shovel with him at work. I asked Chris how Shanann was dressed, and he said she was wearing a black or gray t shirt and blue underwear. I asked Chris how much time passed from the time that he put her back in bed after she was deceased until he put her in the truck. Chris said it only took minutes, and I asked Chris if he was sure the girls' blankets and animals weren't going to be in the tanks, and he said no. Chris said the blankets and the animals were left near the sheet by the grave. And that is the last mention at this point. Now, Chris does goes on to talk about these in his interview.
Yeah, see, there's an actual sticky note too, a yellow sticky note that has on there that they had found the stuffed animals inside the truck. And that's
And
interesting too, where he is describing what Shanann was wearing,
yeah,
because
that's what
according to Chris,
I'm
she
looking
wasn't
for that.
wearing a bra, but yet she was found wearing a bra, and she was
Exactly.
wearing a different color T-shirt than what he said.
Yes. That's what I'm looking for now is the sticky note. Um,
Yeah, True Seeker, Kimberly's having problems with her mic. It's one of them noise cancellation. The only
yeah.
thing is it's canceling her voice out too at the same time. Sounds like.
Yeah, if I move like a half an inch away, it does that. I need to get it on a new boom bar. Well, I don't even have it on a boom bar. I only have it on a stand. So, um, yeah, I know that's there, Dave. I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking about, but I just,
yeah,
I,
Tumbleweed. The totes, he did put them in the inside of the cab, in the back seat area, and it's already been proven that there's no way that Shanann could have fit inside a 6-inch gap in between the seats. There's no way she could have. That, and according to Chris, he had the girls on the seats with their feet dangling above her while there's seat sensors inside there, and the only one showing inside of the cab of that truck was the driver, nobody else. So, and then the dogs they didn't hit on that truck, so there couldn't have been anybody in there. Welcome, Amy Walker.
okay, there we are. All right. Yeah. Those stuffed animals, I don't know. They were a big mystery because Chris says one thing, but that's not the way it was, and you would think Chris would know. And he was pretty adamant that he knew he put those stuffed animals with her,
Right.
but they weren't.
No. Well, that's another thing too, because when they seized the vehicle, his truck, that spade was gone, that Home Depot shovel. But yet the stuffed animals appeared inside the truck. So did somebody put the stuffed animals in the truck and take the shovel away, or how did that work?
Actually, when they were looking for those shovels, if you will remember, they were really confused about, okay, now the shovel was there. I know it was there. I had taken a photo of it. And then when they went to search the truck, it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it is completely gone. Because let's see, right? So as you see right here, the bed, and we showed, was it last night that we showed the photo of the shovel and the truck?
Yeah.
It was last night's live, yeah. And here it says the bed of Chris's work truck was filled with items, including the fire extinguisher, a large diameter hose, a shovel, and a gas can, and multiple toolboxes. And then, now this was on the 13th. And here you come to August the 20th, and it says, I was asked by Detective Baumhover if I saw a shovel in the back of Chris's work truck, and I advised him that I did and that I would complete a supplemental report with the information on Monday myself. It goes on down here and it says, I walked to the passenger side of the truck while still looking into the bed of the truck, and I observed a shovel. The shovel was a spade shovel with a red handle and a black rubber grip at the end of the handle. And I noticed that there was fresh dirt on the spade of the shovel. Well, see, we did not see that last night, remember?
No. No, we did not. No.
I mean, I don't, we'll take a look at that again if you want to, but I didn't even see any signs of dirt like inside the truck around the shovel.
No, there was not even any dust in that
But
truck.
yeah, but here it says that he noticed fresh dirt. And no, I just have to disagree with that because, we saw the same exact picture that he is talking about he observed.
Hmm.
I noticed the shovel was facing down with the bowl of the spade facing towards the tailgate into the truck of the driver's side. The shovel was stored in between the cab of the truck and the silver toolbox.
See, that's totally impossible because the bed of the truck, they're talking about towards the tailgate. Well, it can't be both ways. How do you get a shovel going from left to right and then all of a sudden it's going from north to south, you know?
Well, that's true, Dave. I never thought about that, but it does. The bowl of the spade facing towards the tailgate.
Right.
Um,
See, he did have a flat mouth shovel, but that was the idea with him having to go to Home Depot to buy a spade because
but
the
then
spades
here,
for digging.
but then here it does say the shovel was stored between the cab of the truck and the silver toolbox or the
Right.
gas tank in the bed of the truck. And then it goes on down here to say that I had heard from someone that I cannot recall who. Imagine that. Now he can recall. That's so weird. He can recall everything about that shovel, including the dirt, but he can't remember um, who told him that that shovel may no longer have been in the bed of the truck. While executing the search warrant at the residence, I looked in the garage, the basement, and outside of the residence in an attempt to locate any shovels, but they could not find them. The shovel completely disappeared. Now let me
See,
pull
that's the
up that
same,
photo.
right. See, that's the same shovel that Troy McCoy had picked up and he was going to put in the back of the truck. And Chris says, no, we have to cover up the oil. So Chris went and took the shovel from Troy and covered up the oil stain.
Right. Let me pull up the photo of that shovel. And you tell me if I'm missing something because I cannot see fresh dirt on it. There again, I could be missing something here, but
No, that whole truck, the back of the truck looks like they just detailed that whole truck. So if you're traveling on these dusty roads, that cherry can in the back of the truck would be all full of dust.
yeah. So let me put us over here or let me just put us in the background so we can pull it up. Can you see it okay? Can everybody see it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to pull it as big as I can. Now, where is the dirt?
Yeah, there is no dirt.
Like literally, I don't even see any dust. I don't see it. And of course, that's the end of the photo. And then, of course, you can go up. But where's the fresh dirt? Yeah, I know my shovels look clean too, but when he put in the discovery that he absolutely observed that there was fresh dirt on the shovels, but I don't see it. I mean, if he observed the dirt there, you would think that you would be able to see it. Now, it doesn't matter. The case is closed, but at the same time, this is kind of like a study group, and we're kind of looking for, just the little things in the discovery and the investigation that was kind of, jacked up. And that's kind of what we're looking at. And I don't know. I mean, it, it's not like we can do anything about it, but as far as it doesn't matter, I think it kind of does matter because even though this case is closed, future investigations shouldn't be handled this way, right? And a lot of people do like, discussing it, talking about it, and looking at the little things in the discovery that we were given that is very off. And this is just one of, I'm not scared to say thousands. So, it kind of does matter. Like, I know one side of the family, it really, really matters to them. I understand that the other side of the family is, great, that they feel like this case was handled proper, and I understand that. And I'm glad they feel that way. But, some of us out here in true crime, that's what we do. We dig into cases, we find the flaws in them, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Yeah,
I
it is.
guess
It's in
if it
between.
really didn't matter, they wouldn't have hid so much stuff from the public too.
Yeah, I mean, well, there wouldn't be books and there wouldn't be continuous, Lifetime, Netflix, Hulu. Well, even the fact, people still doing news interviews on it. So I don't know. To some people, it does matter.
Yes. That and like a lot of these law schools are actually using it as a case study also. So
Right.
if it didn't matter, then I guess they wouldn't be doing it either.
Well, I know that is a fact that they are doing that because my granddaughter is taking criminal psychology, and the two cases that she did have to study was this one and the John Benet Ramsey case. Ironically, they're both out of Colorado, but she was given these as an assignment to look into them and see what she believes. So, yeah, I mean, and I'm sure they use them probably in even law schools, you know.
Yeah.
That's what they do. It's like firefighters, they'll use an old abandoned house to, you know, to do their schooling with. I mean, you gotta have something to go on to teach from. Okay, Susan, go ahead, hon. Was Chris waiting until they had a leak at Survey to do, or was the leak planned? We can only answer that through speculation, but I don't personally now I can't remember if Dave believes it was or not. I personally, just to be quite honest, and as you'll see our banner down there, sometimes I have a very unpopular opinion. I do not believe that this was premeditated. You know, that is my IMO there. I do not believe anything was planned or premeditated. As far as the leak goes, um, I don't think that was kinda planned either. I think it was a leak, and it was just a bunch of, slacker employees that didn't just go ahead and go out there and fix it when they should have, when they seen it happen or knew it had happened. What do you think, Dave?
Well, it's a decommissioned well. It wasn't producing enough oil, so it was going to be shut down and dismantled anyways. So that where it was actually leaking, it wasn't really under any kind of pressure. So that could have leaked for until they took it apart, and it wouldn't have really caused any environmental damage at all. So it, you know, for that leak itself, you probably make more of a mess when you're outside barbecuing than how much damage that actual oil leak was, because it was so just not much oil leaking at all. Period. So
Yeah, there
uh,
wasn't a lot. I mean, we
no,
actually have a photo of that leak, and it wasn't a huge leak. However, you know, with all the fires and the explosions, I don't know, you would think. And for Nicole to not even know there was a leak at all, I find that very ironic for a couple of reasons. One, she was over safety, right?
right,
And two, she was also a landscaper for Survey.
right, yes.
So, you know, that puts her to where she should have definitely known that that
Well,
leak was there.
that's right. And see, another thing is too is that everybody keeps on forgetting that's not even Chris's wells that he looked after. They were Troy McCoy's, not Chris's. So
Yeah.
Chris was just going out there as a favor to more or less check and see how bad it was. But then again, the one that detected the leak actually lived in the basement of Troy McCoy's house. So he could have told them that night. But then again, because it's Nicole's job to know where all the leaks are, why wasn't that, you know, there was no priority on it to get it fixed because it wasn't under pressure, and all they had to do is flick a shift and that would have been it. There would have been nothing going through them lines anymore. It would have been
Right.
just seepage and that's it.
Right. That's true. There was really a leak. We do have the photo that Chris took of the leak. And I think he sent it, was it to Troy or Cody? I can't remember.
Cody.
Cody.
Yeah.
And question, what is your opinion of the staged baby doll picture as if the baby doll had died? We actually did a live on this not too awful long ago.
Month
Big
ago.
live about this. Um, I do believe it was a staged picture for sure, but I don't think maybe it was all staged. I think it is possible at some point that the kids had did it, but it does definitely appear that an adult possibly came behind the child, and because it was done very, very good.
Yeah. See, the whole thing with that, they said it came from Chris's phone, but it never. That
No,
came absolutely 1000% came from Shanann's phone.
yes.
And
Well,
I don't
Chris
know
was
what
at
kind of,
work.
that's right. And I don't know what kind of kid would have that um, blanket so straight, because usually ones they're lopsided or whatever, but this was straight
Well,
as if an adult did do it. So,
yeah, it was literally tucked behind. I mean, it was tucked behind the neck
yeah, so it couldn't
as
slip.
well. So it was definitely put that way on purpose, you know. So yeah, we have a entire live with all of the screenshots, and we went through the discovery and the image numbers and everything on that particular photo. Oh yeah, and there's many things. Is it Odie or Odi? There's many things that would lead you to believe that it is completely planned, and I totally respect, your opinion on that. Many people do. Dave, do you? I mean, many people do. I'm sure there's people in the chat right now that also believe it was highly premeditated. Personally, I don't, but that's just me. But I respect everybody's, opinions. I'm lost. I'm lost on that one, Dave. I must have missed something somewhere.
Yeah, me too.
I'm lost. Odie, you'll have to. I'm sorry, hon. You'll have to kind of refresh my mind on what I said.
On the question there for about no drag marks, I actually think that she walked to the grave because they had to get barefoot prints from Chris. That leads me to believe that whoever it was that was walking out there was out there in bare feet.
Well, there was an unknown print on the bag too, and I know many
That's
people,
right.
want to think, and it is possible. I'm not even going to say they're wrong because it's a high likely, that it could have been from the manufacturer. It could have been someone, with the manufacturer that put the bag in the box, and that's a possibility. But there's also the possibility that it could been, involved in the case too.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we'll never know because there was never any DNA taken except Chris's hand and feet prints. And Chris actually asked why they were doing it. And he wanted to know the results because Chris wants to know whose damn fingerprint that was too. His mom told us that. He wants to know, but they never told him either.
No, most of the excuses that they're coming up is if it goes to appeal. Well, the appeal process has already been done and gone a long time ago.
Yeah, I can't.
So they
No more
can't really
appeal.
use that as an excuse.
No. No, and like we said last night, Chris is also recently, within the last couple of months, his mother told us this. He did try to ask for what it was that he had sealed, what the medical records he sealed was in the discovery, because he doesn't know. So he asked to see that, and he was denied. And that was recently as well.
Yes, and one thing with that is Chris doesn't remember anything about asking to have anything sealed. So that wasn't done on his behalf. That was done on Rourke's behalf. So I don't know if that was part of the agreement that the Rusiks had with him as to Rourke when Rourke went and saw them for 3 days in North Carolina, or
Yeah.
what it was. But
Well, there was stipulations in the plea deal. I mean, that's why it's called a deal. You
right,
know, Chris had to agree to some of the things that they were wanting in that plea deal, or they wouldn't have never offered it to him to begin with. I mean, this wasn't a, hey, Chris, this is your get out of death free card. I mean, he had to, go with whatever stipulations was in there, and one of them was the medical records. And what else was in there? Oh yeah, destroying all DNA evidence after 1 year.
right.
There was several stipulations in there that
Bethany
he
wasn't
had to
supposed to
agree
talk
to.
about it either.
No, he can't talk
And
about it
that
either.
includes when he is in prison. He's not supposed to be talking about it to anybody. So if anybody's coming out and saying, yeah, Chris confessed, well, they're full of it because he would break the agreement and he'd go back to Colorado.
Yes. And because Colorado is going to hold the jurisdiction in this, since it's not a federal case, it is a state case. So Colorado will always hold jurisdiction over this. So if it was to ever go back to court, trial, what have you, it would definitely go back to Colorado. And he
Right.
would have to go back. Well, kind of like the whole Casey Vicky White thing. A lot of people thinks that he give a false confession just to get back to her jail. Just to get back to where Vicky worked, he gave a false confession. And some of you may not be familiar with that case, but that's why they think he did it, because it would put him back in the same jurisdiction that it happened. That's why Chris doesn't want out of jail, y'all. I mean, a lot of people's thinking, and I see it every day. Chris still thinks he's going to get out of jail. Chris, this, how do they say it, Dave? He thinks he's going to get out. He's got a chance of getting out. No, Chris does not want out.
No.
I
Chris,
asked his mom point blank, didn't we, Dave?
yes. That's another reason why he's not going to get out is because Chris himself said, why talk? Because it's not going to bring anybody back. And if he even does talk, what are they going to do? Take maybe 2 life sentences? That means he's still in there for another 3 life sentences. So there's
Right,
no use for him to say anything at all.
right. And believe it or not, he absolutely loves Shanann's family. And, contrary to popular belief, they sent messages to him telling him that they loved him as well. You can hear that in the Wisconsin interview. Um, Frank thanked him when he didn't even put up any kind of bitch agreement or anything, when he gave Frank full representation over everything. Frank thanked him. So it's like, kind of behind the scenes, I'm not going to say they communicate, because they don't, as far as I know, but they're also not. I don't know. I guess it's one of those things. It's easier to forgive than have the hate. I don't know how the Ruseks handle that. Honestly, I couldn't. I would hate his guts. And that is one of the things that's unforgiven, in my opinion. But I guess to them, it's just easier to forgive. And
But there's
some people that
still
way.
something going on behind the scenes with them, though, because yeah, all the way up until it was time for them to get their insurance money, they always said that NK was involved. So once the insurance like came about, then all of a sudden nobody was involved. And same thing when they were on Dr. Phil. They even told Dr. Phil, and so did Dr. Phil say that the mistress was involved. And since, well, all that has happened, that episode has been taken off of Dr. Phil. So,
Yeah. So do y'all think that Shanann walked to the place where she was buried? I think that is what Dave thinks.
yes,
Now y'all got to know, me and Dave are like best friends. He's my admin. He's my right hand. He is team unjustified, but me and him don't agree on everything. That's
well,
okay,
there's
you
no
know.
drag marks at all going to the
And that
grave,
is true. That
you
is
know.
true.
So, and why is it they asked for barefoot prints? They weren't Chris's that were found there. Um, then again, they haven't released everything, but there was no mention of them even finding Chris's footprints anywhere. So,
Right. I mean, the things I'm telling you, when Dave tells you why he believes the way he does, I mean, you can't dispute what he's saying. It's fact. And then I could go on to say, the way I think is, I do think that he brought her there in the truck, and I think he pulled up next to the hole, and I think he just rolled her into it. And that's just the way she landed. Of course, it's just a different theory. I don't know which is right and which is wrong, but I'm going to tell you, Dave sounds very, very possible because he's right. There is no drag marks. But then again, there I go with my, well, that's because he just rolled her out. But ah, who knows? Who knows?
that goes back to the fitted sheet, though. How could they have a fitted sheet that's in the bedroom that the police pick up and they mark into evidence, and then all of a sudden there's a fitted sheet out at the gravesite that he was supposed to wrap her in? So how does that work? you
That's
know,
true. That is true. But the coroner sheet was not a fitted sheet. It was just, a hospital. So
right?
I can't really speculate that that would be the coroner sheet because it's just not.
No, I have pictures of both.
Yeah.
And
But
yeah, the corner sheet is just a white sheet that they wrap the body in to preserve any evidence, and then they put them in a body bag so that nothing is lost.
he just wanted a new life and was willing to do anything to have it. Well, I agree with that too. I believe he wanted a new life, and I believe NK did too. I believe, y'all, I'm just saying, I believe NK's got, even if she didn't hands on, which is IMO here, I'm not certain that she didn't. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't, but I'm telling you, she's not innocent as far as knowing more. And I also believe NK is the one. Well, I agree with Rourke, man. I do agree with Rourke. I believe she is the one that gave the bombshell evidence and cracked the case wide open. I believe that.
The only thing with that is, I do
It's
believe
off
that
the record.
that's right. We're never ever going to see what she actually told anybody.
Nope. Nope. Everything, in my opinion, that we hear and see from her is for on the record.
Right.
What could possibly be sealed in the records? Well, we know that it is medical records. We know those are sealed because, that's just not even. And some of it could be the DNA of Nico because, I mean, it's out there. The Rusex, have the DNA of Nico. They said they had the DNA of Nico, so I'm sure they do. But of course, we've never seen it. Chris has never seen it. Chris's parents have never seen it. It's medical records that's sealed. What else is sealed, Dave? It is
Well, Chris's medical records are sealed. Um,
photos of the
yeah,
recovery.
his is 50 years after death, and then the girls and Shanann are 90 years from the date that of death. So, and it's like they were talking that, um, well, with the girls, they didn't want prior medical release like all the operations, all the doctor's appointments, and all the other stuff. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't want that released. So,
No, those were definitely sealed.
and according to Chris, he had no knowledge of them records even being sealed. So I don't know.
Yeah,
But
and
they
we
ended up
don't know
indicting.
why they're sealed. And
Right.
it's because he did try to get those. He wanted to know what he sealed. That is now, okay, we have to say this is secondhand information that he did a couple of months ago try to find out what it was he had sealed. He wanted to see them, and they refused it to let him see them, saying that they were closed and sealed. And this is secondhand information, but it is from his mom. So take it how you will. Odie says, how do you explain how she got into the car if he couldn't carry her and she wasn't caught walking to the car by the neighbor's camera?
Well, the whole thing is there's no footage at all of her getting into any vehicle out front. There is
Mm.
tire tracks from mud tires backed up against the fence. There also has the third dog that tracked her scent some 4 blocks away from the back of the house. So that there shows that she was not killed on Monday. Like Chris said, he strangled, or Chris says, I did to her what she did to the girls. And it was Ronnie and then Lee that said, what, strangled? And then he said, yeah. So he actually never even admitted to killing them. He always said that Shanann killed the girls. So,
Yeah. Until Wisconsin, which is
yeah, but
ironically
Wisconsin was a crock too, because right
that
now
letter.
they said, we're not going to jack you up on anything. And then Chris was talking about a dream that Cato had told him that some lady had. So he's repeating that.
Which is
So,
so crazy. Oh my God. Have y'all heard that dream? Like, have you? Chris wrote a letter by a lady telling him that she had this dream. And she told him what the dream was about. And this was on February the 3rd. Okay, now follow me here. On February the 8th, was it the 8th or was it the 18th? It was 18th, wasn't it? Yeah.
18th, I think it was.
Yeah. On February the 18th is when he gave his Wisconsin interview. He gave that before he even told Cadle anything. So the Wisconsin interview was literally his second interview. Him talking with Cadle, I guess, would be considered the third confession because it's sort of different than what he told Wisconsin. Um, but ironically, if you have not heard about this letter that this lady wrote him about that dream, wow. If if y'all haven't heard it, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna let you hear it because it's highly, I mean, really, you're gonna be like, OMG, are you serious? And he was given this letter before he gave this Wisconsin confession. OMG. Like, what the hell? Y'all haven't heard? Okay, Dave, entertain a minute. Let me go get that.
Okay. Well, we can go back all the way to the interview with Chris, because if everybody remembers him in there, all the questions that were being asked to Chris, they were actually giving him multiple choice answers. So he really wasn't giving a story on what actually happened. He was just putting together what they wanted to hear. And then same thing when you go to Wisconsin, when you go to Dodge, they were doing the same thing. So it's what, and he even admitted that he was only saying, like in Dodge, what they wanted to hear. So he keeps on saying that he does not remember, but does he not remember, or is he just lying again? Because that's all he does is lie. It's like we found information that's like 1000% guaranteed this is how it happened. And like Chris said, that he does not know anything about it. But once he's confronted with it, he goes, "Oh yeah, now I remember." So how many more times is he going to go, "Oh yeah, now I remember," and he's just covering up for somebody else, or he really doesn't remember? I guess we'll never know.
I'm still here, y'all. I'm just looking for it. It won't take me but a minute, but you're gonna, if you have not heard this letter and you hear the timeline of this letter and what this lady's dream was that she told Chris, you will be shocked.
Yeah. I know, it's like no matter who you talk to or listen to these interviews, there might be only one or two people that didn't lie through the whole thing. Um, but including the families. So there's not much you can do or say there. It's hard to do an investigation, I guess, if everybody's lying. But then again, when you go and lie to Chris saying that if you don't agree to this, you're going to be put to death, even though the death penalty was already going off the table. They weren't going to do it anymore. So I don't think anybody knows what actually happened. The only one that would be is Chris. And that's probably the biggest reason why he won't talk, because no matter what he says, if he tells the truth or not, he's not going to get out of prison. So why bother, really? So all he's doing is protecting the ones that are on the outside. So if he was threatened, if you talk, we're going to do something to your family, that might be the reason. But then again, if it's somebody else that he's close to on the outside and he doesn't want them to go to prison because, it's not going to change anything either. It's not going to bring anybody back. And it looks like Kimberly can't find it. So we're probably going to have to do it on the next live, find it for the next live. Did everybody notice when the police went to Nate's door asking him for footage? And Nate said that he couldn't give any footage because it was in his wife's name, or sorry, his girlfriend's name. So he couldn't call anybody or authorize anybody to get any information whatsoever. So, with that being said, that early on into this investigation, why is it that um, the police actually had a search warrant put up in Nate's name trying to get the video? And once all that happened, they said, well, we can't release it because he's not the owner of it. Then they actually waited too long to get it back into Nate's girlfriend's name. By that happened, all the video that they were wanting had already been written over. So they did say it was still in the cloud, but the original from the company was written over, so it was gone. And it looks like she's still looking. I don't know. She might be there for a while. I don't know. No matter what you look, like which direction you look at this case, the whole thing, a lot of people say it was all muddled up, but I don't think it was. I think it was done intentionally, because if it actually happened the way that we think it did, where Nicole went to the FBI first and gave her bombshell information to them, then that's why she was the only one interviewed by FBI afterwards. and why the search warrants weren't performed for her apartment, which was kind of weird. She's like $1,500 a month she's paying for that. She gave out multiple keys to multiple people. Then you have her working at Anadarko, her dream job, that was only on a 6-month term. That was it. She was there on a work share only for 6 months. So how could that be a dream job? Then she actually owned a house under her name, and it's worth over 400,000 in Denver. Then you have her and her sister and her dad and his new wife listed on another property. Then inside the interview, she was all freaking out that, oh, people are going to know her and they're going to come after her and all this other crap. And they said, well, do you have a safe place to go to? And she goes, yes, we have a safe house. It's an apartment in Denver. Nobody stays there. Well, how many people can afford to have a safe house that nobody stays in? And why would you even call it a safe house? It would go back to that weekend when she said that she had guests over and she was hosting them. Who uses the word host? Like, you're hosting people? That doesn't make sense either. So I'm not sure. I'm just checking to see where Kimberly went to.
Okay, Dave, I found it.
Oh, you did? Cool.
I found it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have it up here.
That 111-minute phone call, I honestly do think Chris was having second thoughts and he wanted to back out of it. And that 111-minute phone call, I really do think that Nicole drove from her house or her apartment to Chris's house because his cell phone disconnected for about 10 minutes from the router, which means he went outside. So when it reconnected again, he's back inside the house, and he never called or text or anything to Nicole after that. And to me, she was inside that house because he went outside to meet her. And they wouldn't have to go through the front door because they were using that Minnie Mouse window in the basement. He used that window for 5 weeks so it wouldn't send any alerts to Shanann's phone. Well, I don't know if the R's are actually protecting NK or what that is. How would you put it? Anadarko was not going to pay out any of the insurance money because they said Chris killed the girls. So with the Rusick saying that the mistress, NK, was involved and actually going public on the Dr. Phil doing the same thing, they would not be paid out the insurance money. Another thing is too, there was a big thing that they were killed before they got to 319. So when the shadow business came about, then it sort of showed that at least one of the girls were still alive. So it was possible that he could have killed them at 319. So therefore, they would have to pay out the insurance money because Anadarko was supposed to have cameras set up there. They're supposed to have a lock gate. They're supposed to have a security guard and all this other stuff. But because it was being decommissioned, they didn't have any of that in place. So anything that happened there was all on Anadarko, and they could have got sued for millions and millions of dollars. So the best way to do it is that Chris did it all. And sign here. Here's your insurance money, which was what, $2 $250,000 for Shanann and $75,000 for each of the girls. So that all got paid out.
So, yeah, I was sorry, y'all. We was kind of looking for something.
Did you find it?
I did, and I have it ready. If or we can wait for another day. I mean,
Oh, you can go.
I
Go ahead.
okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure anybody that's just came in, we may want to give them a recap on what's going on here, and we need to go ahead. Okay, this is another creator, and she is reading it out, and she does an excellent job. And we're gonna put her link in the chat here. It's Red X. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with her channel, but we're going to put her link in here, give her full credit for this rating of this dream, and just I don't know, just kind of prepare to be what the hell in it because yeah, I definitely was. I hadn't when Dave told me about the dream, I went and looked it up. I was like, yeah, that dream, but then now that we know as much as we do and we hear this dream again, it's like, oh shit. Wow. This lady's actually got one hell of a premonition, or Chris was uh, copycatting her, right? Dave, that's the only way I know to say it.
That's right. That's the same thing as that psychic too. That
Yes.
psychic had too many things right, as if somebody that did it or was there that had knowledge of it that actually wrote that.
Right. It's well, they had to if what Chris is telling in his in his Wisconsin confession, if it is true, then yeah, whoever wrote this quote unquote dream, then they knew what happened
Yeah.
for sure. For sure. There's no way around it. Just listen. Y'all tell us what y'all think. Tell us what y'all think about this dream. Let me get it up here. Again, full credit goes to Red X Crime Files for the reading of this. And we'll put her link in the description box as well as in the chat. Ain't she so pretty, y'all? She really is. No, and she's pretty on the inside and the outside. Y'all make sure and go check out her channel.
Was written on the 3rd of February. And she's saying, I had the weirdest dream last night. I'm intuitive, and sometimes I have dreams about things that are going to or have happened. It's a long one. Sorry. It's a long one. Sorry. Okay. And then she puts under categories and she states, Shanann got home and Chris was in the front room. They immediately started arguing about the credit card charge. He tells her he doesn't think they are compatible anymore. And she tells him they can work it out talking over him. They go to bed separately, her upstairs, him in the basement. He's just dozing off when Shanann comes to his room. She says how much she still loves him and how she's missed him so much recently. Her heart hurts. And will he come to their? I'm reading it out as she was typing it, okay? So this is not me weird reading. And will he come to their bed and just hold her tight? They bicker around for a bit, but then he agrees because she's pregnant and exhausted. Once upstairs, she initiates sex, and he goes along with it in a last-ditch effort to see if he has any feelings at all left for her. She falls asleep. CW stays awake for a bit, brooding on stuff and trying to figure out what he's going to do. Eventually, he falls asleep too. Hold on. When he wakes up, he's already awake. She attempts to initiate sex again, and he gets on top. And in that moment, he realizes he can do it and that he doesn't want to do it. He shouts at her that he doesn't love her anymore and he wants a divorce. He says he only wants the girls. She turns around and says he'll never see the kids again. Does it make click with you guys? Click, click, click. Never see the kids again. Bella, awoken by the shouting, walks in clutching a pink blanket. She's happy to see her mom, who tells her to go back to bed. She cries because she says she's missed her and wants a hug. Shanann beckons over her and she climbs onto the bed. Chris starts getting dressed and Shanann is crying, mascara running down her face. Okay, hold on. It's the second page. Oh, I mixed that up. No. Second page. She describes he's coming. Oh, hold on. What's that? Oh, he goes downstairs. He hears a noise and thinks it's Shanann putting Bella back to bed. He feels terrible about not being in love with her anymore and heads back upstairs to talk to her again. When he gets in the bedroom, she's not there, and he looks at the monitor to see if she's in Bella's room. Bella appears asleep again. He presumes Cece has woke up, so he waits till the monitor circles to her room. He sees Shanann attacking Cece with her hand on her neck. He goes in and drags her off, and she falls on the floor. He shouts at her, "What have you done?" And she says in a quiet voice, "They're gone. You'll never see them again." He goes to Cece and moves her to wake her up. No response. He lifts her arm and drops it, still no response and no breath. Shanann walks out of the room and into the bedroom. She comes back out with her phone and tells him she's phoning the police and telling them he killed their daughters. Keep in mind, you guys, before anyone is hating, this girl is just describing a dream. He pushes her onto the couch and she drops her phone down the cushions. He flips her over on the couch and strangles her with one hand, all the while telling her he doesn't love her and why didn't she just let him leave. She dies and loses control of the bladder and bowels on a blue throw-over. He wraps her in and he picks her up and puts her on their bed as he is. Wrapping her in the sheet, Bella walks in. He failed to kill her. Remember, they woke back up. She asked what happened to Mommy. He said, she's sick and they need to take her to the hospital. He packs the truck with Shanann and Cece's body first, and then puts Bella in the truck up front with him. The drive to Survey, and all the way he's crying and confused what the hell just happened. When he gets to Survey, and this is where it gets very interesting. When he gets to Survey, he puts Shanann on the ground, cradles Cece, and carries her up to the tank. So, what did he say? Cece is first, right? In his confession. He drops her in. Bella has followed him with Cece's blanket. Bella says to Chris, "Are you going to put me in there like you did Cece?" And Chris said yes, and that he's sorry. Bella says, "No, Daddy." He opens the hatch of the next tank along. He picks up Bella in his arms and covers her face with the blanket, and all the time he's crying and saying he's sorry and he loves her. He's so sorry, but no one will ever believe him that Shanann killed Cece. She struggles in his arms and he holds her tighter, putting more pressure on her face while she, I can't read that, and then she's still. Chris pulls the blanket down and kisses her head whilst hiding her face. He carries her over to the tank and drops her in, then closes the lid. He walks back to Shanann and starts digging. Now he rages at her for not letting him go, rages at her for forcing him to leave his children, rages at her that she's not NK, how she didn't let him live his life to just be him. When the hole is dug, he rolls her into the grave. He buries her, and where was it? He buries her, and the sheet blows away in the wind. He walks back to the truck and stashes the pink blanket and blue throw under the seat. That's it. Do you find there are similarities in this? He's telling investigators Cece's first, right? And I actually put a comparison
So what do y'all think about that? Hey, Nellie. Dave, Nellie's with us.
Hey, Kim. Hey, Dave. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, it's okay, honey. We're just glad to know you're okay. We have been
I'm
worried.
okay. I had a hospital visit today, but I'm doing better. I'm laying in bed, so I'm good to go.
You take care of you. Did you
Oh,
hear that? Did you hear that, Nellie? That
yes,
dream?
I did.
OMG, that's crazy, isn't it?
That is insane.
I mean yeah, Tammy, that dream is a bit too detailed, right?
Way too detailed. It's like, what the?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know. It's like his first confession. He did exactly pretty much what Tammy and everybody was saying happened, and then his second confession, it's almost like he did what this lady dreamed.
Did he
That
know about the dream?
yes,
He
because this
had to
lady,
have. He had to
yes,
have.
she wrote that letter on February the 3rd and sent it to him. February the 18th is when they went and did the Wisconsin interview.
So he basically just memorized it because we all know he has a photographic memory, and he
Either
memorized that letter.
either that or the lady that had that dream is just
Spot on.
yeah, no kidding.
Well, that's the same like I was saying about the psychic. The letter from the psychic. They were spot on to where the bodies were.
They were.
Yeah.
They
But then
were.
you have what the heck was Troy McCoy's wife's name?
Juanita.
Juanita, yes, sorry. Okay, yeah. Then you had a Juanita calling in to what was it, the resource officer, saying that she had information about Shanann and the girls about them being dead, but nobody followed up with that.
Let me see if I can find that. The what you're talking about, Dave. With
Can barely
Juanita.
hear you.
I'm gonna see if I can find what you're talking about there and pull it up.
Oh, okay. You're doing some really good ASMR there.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
My. Gotta love it.
Shoot, all the medicine they pumped in me, you'll put me into a good sleep.
We're just glad to hear you're doing okay, girl. We have been worried.
I
Yeah.
am. It's so weird. I'm sorry to interrupt talking about personal business, guys, but
Oh, no.
everybody knows on here that I have breast cancer, so it's not a secret. But I haven't been holding down food, so I haven't done the chemo pill, so they've been giving me infusions. And oh my gosh, they've been knocking me on my rear. And I got pneumonia the week before, so I was scared I was going to miss Brandon's graduation. And they got me to where I would feel better going to that. And then we had his party. I had all these people in town, and I just started getting sicker and sicker. I couldn't hold anything down. And I went to the bank today, I guess around 3:30. And the last thing I remember, I was talking to the lady at the counter, and the next thing I know, I'm in an ambulance, and they're poking me, giving me IVs, and putting pain medicine in, and all this other stuff. I was like, what the hell's going on? And they're like, you hit your head when you went down, so they had my neck secure. I was just like, oh my gosh. So it's been a long day.
My
We
goodness.
probably got home probably about an hour ago. What is it? 9:30? Yeah, we got home about 8:45.
Well, we knew something was up because we were like, no, I've not heard anything from her. And there was many in the chat last night that was wanting to know if you were doing how you were doing. And they, I said, as far as we know, she's
I've
doing
been
fine.
sleeping
Just
like there's
busy.
no tomorrow. And then my uncle got hurt, so I was trying to take care of him. I just took on too much. And the doctor said that basically my body said, enough is enough. It's time to stop.
I agree. And I've been telling you, you better get some rest. Take
Yeah.
care of you. Take care of you.
And I got 8 bags of IV fluid because I was so dehydrated. And then the potassium because my hands and my feet curled in. My legs hurt so bad. It was scary. And my poor son didn't know what the hell to do. All he could tell him was, here's her information about her breast cancer because I carry it with me in case something happens.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. Oh my God, he didn't. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
I know he was. Well, here is, guys. Here is that psychic, and I'm gonna put us in the backfield so you can see it. Some of you may not, have seen this. I'm sure most everyone has, but this is in the discovery, and I'm not seeing when they called it in, but if I'm not mistaken, this was called in. Was it on the 15th, Dave?
I'm not sure. I think it was the 15th. Yes.
I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the 15th. And this is from a psychic, September the 15th, but they wish to remain nameless. So they didn't want to give their name. And for whatever reasons, it says don't mention to medium.
Right.
And it says, would you like us in office? And then it's marked out. So who knows why. But it says the medium is also friends 10 years. This is a lupus support group on Facebook that Shanann was in. Dispute 2 to 5 a.m. immediately upon arrival. So she's saying that Chris and Shanann had a dispute between 2 and 5 a.m. and then in parentheses, immediately upon arrival. So I guess that is saying that as soon as she got home, her premonitions and her visions is what happened. It says because of a triangle situation, an affair, and it leans towards Chris seeing someone and being jealous. No intent to harm. So I guess that means that he did not intend to harm her. Maybe strangled Shanann. Girls suffocated afterwards. Now, this was all sent, remember, this was before his confession. It's even first confession. Describe feeling. The psychic says she felt like she was in a bag or underwater, in the tanks. They were moved in the truck. There was no bloodshed. They was driven to deep wooded section not far from home. So see, that part, maybe she just seen a field, I don't know, and just considered it would be a deep wooded section. But it says it's a lake near the woods, deep wooded, and it's difficult to find. Issues at home were related to money, too much time spent working with Thrive, didn't set well with Chris. And then the vision is each girl was wrapped in blankets after suffocated. The bodies are not far from home. And this psychic is from, and Dave, I'm going to let you say that word because everybody knows I cannot say that word. That word, that's not one of my words.
Which word?
The state.
Massachusetts?
Yes.
Massachusetts.
Everybody knows I can't say that. It's a tongue twister for me. But anyway, this psychic is from there. It's an anonymous tip, and it was given even before Chris's first confession. So imagine that. This psychic, and then that dream. Crazy, huh? Crazy. So it's like he has his confessions given to him. It seriously seems that way.
Well, ever since the very first interview, everybody's been more or less planting things in his head onto what happened and how it happened, and he's just agreeing with everybody.
That's the way it really seems, isn't it? I mean, honestly.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So is it that he's suffering from PTSD from doing what he did, or is it because he doesn't know?
Exactly. He tells his parents till this day he doesn't know.
Right.
So, he just, I don't know. But he did ask to have fingerprints and all this, which the judge denied. So I can't get why he would want that done if he really did remember, because obviously he would know it come back to him.
That's right, yes.
It's just odd. Nellie, Squirrel says that she's new here, but she's so sorry to hear about your problems and glad she's feeling okay. Me too. We have been worried to death about her.
Oh, thank you so much.
So right now it's to the point where this case, unless Ronnie can get power of attorney over Chris, nothing's going to change, because if that happens, then Ronnie can request anything and everything.
Yes, and he's still trying to, right? I mean, I can't remember. We did ask him, but he's still trying to, isn't he?
As far as I know, yes. But
Yeah.
then again, he's saying that he's never got the papers, and I think that's just a big lie again too. So who knows?
Right.
But if he does get the power of attorney, he can blow it open. As to he could get the information, keep it to himself. At least then, that's the main thing, that they know what actually happened.
Yeah.
And then they can have some peace out of it.
But I don't know how they're going to be able to get any more because they won't even give it to Chris.
Right.
Which is So weird.
That's according to Chris too, though. You know,
Yeah, that is true. I mean, well, I don't know. Didn't Cindy say he showed him, or I can't remember, but I know they denied it to him.
right. See, they had, well, what it was is that his appeal for like actual sentencing, he had 90 days to appeal it, and they had him locked up in solitary confinement for what was it, 97 days?
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't let him talk to Cindy or anybody. Cindy asked for another lawyer. They denied it. And yeah, so he was inside his solitary confinement during his appeal process. The only other thing that you might be talking about is his 35C, but the 35C was only for the little things that happened, where he never got life sentences. He only got, say, years, and that was it. So that doesn't matter either. It just, I really don't think he's going to talk.
I don't
There's,
think he will.
he's not going to get anything out of it by talking. So,
He's really not, and he don't want to go back to Colorado. And he even told his parents, "Stop."
Well,
right.
he said nothing's going to change, so why bother?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
he
going
literally
to be here.
he literally got almost mad at Ronnie for trying to do the 35C. You know, he completely denied. I ain't doing it. I don't know. He's
Mhm.
But my
content.
thing is, give everybody the full closure. Tell them the full story so it can be ended. So all these conspiracy theories can go away
There's
and we
some
can
reason.
know the truth.
There's some reason if he does remember, and I think he does.
Oh, I think he
Like
does too.
Odie says, you know, he's a liar. He just is. Hey, Chris is a compulsive liar. You can't believe him. So, I think he knows, but there's some reason that he is not saying anything, even though it's not going to change his situation, no matter what. He is protecting somebody, in my opinion. Who is the somebody? It could be more than one somebody. You know, and I'm not only going towards Jim and Nicole, and I mean it could extend farther than that.
Yep.
And that's all I'm saying about that. But you know what I mean.
That Nikki, she was never pregnant. Like that wasn't even gonna, like they weren't even into a relationship. She was helping him look for a 2-bedroom apartment and to get bunk beds. She had no intentions whatsoever of spending any part of her life with Chris. So,
I wonder with I know there's lots of speculations out there that she was pregnant with his child. I personally don't think she was either.
no,
But if she let's just go with the theory that many people do have, and that is she was. Let's go with that for just a hot minute. Supposing she was, okay? Wouldn't she, no matter what, would she still not be entitled to something from Chris for the child, even though he is incarcerated? Like, you know, I know he's being sued for this $6 million or whatever, but we also know for a fact that he gets like thousands dropped on his books like weekly.
right,
We
I
know
don't know.
that.
She may not want anyone to know because she wanted herself completely out of this. She had her whole life scrubbed. So even if she was pregnant, I don't think she would have disclosed it.
no. That, and it was her girlfriend that was getting married.
Right.
So
But
that's why she was looking at wedding dresses.
yeah, and I also think she is greedy too. I mean, she
Oh
was
yeah,
looking up ways to make money off the case
yeah.
quick.
Well, she looked up Amber Fry and tried to go off of her, but the difference between her and Amber Fry is Amber was taken by surprise. She did not know that his wife was dead. She thought his wife left him or had died another way, not murdered.
Oh yeah, Amber
So
was
hers was
absolutely,
totally different.
totally.
Nicole knew from day one who his wife was and all about his children.
Yes.
I mean, for Christ's sake, she was in her home.
I still think that the day that he talked her off the ledge, she was upstairs and saw Miko's ultrasound on the dresser, and that's why she freaked out.
Yeah. Well, also that photo, that's the same day, around the same time that Shanann sent that photo of the first little boy onesie she bought while she was in North
Yes, yeah,
Carolina. And we know that Nicole, hell, she even said she had his phone that day working on macros for him and setting
yeah,
up whatever. So what if she had his phone at the same time Shanann sent the photo of baby what's his first outfit?
And
right.
like we said, when you and I looked through that timeline, she very well could have had that phone when that text came through.
Absolutely, because she said she had his phone that day trying to set it up. So what if that came through and she just seen it, looked at it, and was like, "Oh hell no," because immediately after that, they get in this big ass argument.
Yeah, because they said that Chris was actually deleting messages from Shanann that had anything to do with him saying that he loved her or anything like that.
Yes.
So to me, that tells me that, yeah, Nicole was looking at his phone too, and he was deleting them so she didn't see any of that.
Yeah, that's
Tammy wants to know what we think the end game was with NK starting this relationship with Chris.
I don't think it was a relationship. I think she was just more or less there to take Chris's mind off of Shanann and the girls. I really think that she was placed there just to do so. Nothing else, nothing more. You still got to remember,
I kind of think she wanted him,
$10,000 still
though.
missing. What happened to it?
Good question.
Because they turned that office upside down, looking for who knows what. The only thing I could see is the 10,000, because she never put that on any of the bills whatsoever.
Well, they took the 10,000 out in what, March, wasn't it? I think it was March that they took the 10,000 out of his 401k. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Wasn't that to get their house note and stuff caught up?
Yes, but she never placed it on anything.
Oh, well, good Lord.
Yeah, I'm not sure. How far behind were they in August?
I think it was 3 months.
Well, see, then that would have put March. They would have already been foreclosed on it. They
were supposed to be going to court because they had a family court case, and then the HOA was taking them to court.
Yeah.
So that's 2 separate court cases right there.
Yes.
And so what happened with the mortgage, I don't know. That could have been going on too.
See, I kind of tend to agree with Odie. She wanted Shanann out of the picture. She wanted Chris for herself. I think that was her end game.
Well, then why would she have a $1,500 apartment? Why would she be looking for Chris to get a 2-bedroom apartment?
Well, she could have easily moved in with them.
But she had that over $400,000 house in Denver. That's the whole thing. It's like everything that happened, it was like, even her job, that was a temp position. She was only 6-month contract.
Yes.
So she would have been moving on to something else there too. So,
well, that's true, but it didn't change the fact she still wanted Chris. She pursued him.
yeah, but she also said that it really didn't mean anything, that they were more or less having sex and that was it.
I don't believe her. I think she lies about everything to me. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
woman has lied from day one, so who the hell knows what the truth is?
I think she wanted Chris too.
I'm sorry, I'm being blunt, y'all. I am on pain medication. I'm trying not to say no bad words.
No, I think she literally wanted Shanann's life, and I said all of that in my exposing the mistress, and maybe it wasn't so much the money or whatever. It was just the fact of having, just to be quite blunt, a little bitch, because that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much what Chris was. He was a jump and do as I'm told kind of guy,
Yeah, because he
and
didn't do anything on his own. His mom ran his life when he lived with his mom. Shanann ran his life when he lived with Shanann. Nicole ran his life whenever he was with Nicole. I mean, he didn't know how to stand on his own 2 feet. He didn't know how to make up his own mind other than whenever he decided to kill his own damn family.
Well, you have to remember too that before Shanann left, she had all these pre-cooked meals for Chris in the freezer. All you had to do is unthaw them and cook them. She
yeah,
also had his
had to take
clothes set
care
out
of him
for
like a
him.
little kid.
Yeah, she had his clothes set out for him too, so that the shirts and the shorts or whatever would all match.
Oh, hell no. I'm supposed to go out of town in 2 weeks. I ain't freezing Josh some food. He can cook. I guess that makes me a bad wife.
No, I ain't gonna do it either, girl. I ain't gonna do it. No. Yeah, Chris was an unusual kind of guy. Like, unusual. Like, I know there's Chris's out there, but that literally jumps at every beck and call, but there's not many. And Nicole said she had been in abusive relationship before him, and that's why all of her mail was going to her dad's because
That's right. Yeah.
she was kind of hiding out. And she said she had a safe house, which is so odd. Like, who says that? A safe house?
Yeah, it's an apartment in Denver that nobody stays at. Like,
Yeah,
why?
I
right.
think the crazy thing is that they scrubbed her entire life. There is no one, not even anyone from elementary, junior high, high school, shit, even college, that has come forward saying they knew anything about Nicole. There is no one out there saying anything about her.
Yeah, it
There's nothing.
doesn't make no sense. Yeah. I mean, you would think someone would come out and say, "Hey, yeah, I went to school with her." Nobody, nothing. Not even an ex-boyfriend. Nobody, literally.
You got people that knew Shanann and Chris that are speaking out, but nobody that says anything about NC or NK, whatever the hell her last name was.
Yeah, well, you can't even find a yearbook photo of her.
I know,
It's not there.
nothing. There is nothing out there.
Yeah, the closest I found was her. What was it? Yellowstone National Park with a bunch of other kids and her old teacher.
Yeah, but you know
Yeah,
how the
that's it.
yearbooks are? It's got their names under it. I mean, it's not there. It's
Right.
so weird.
It's odd.
So, what do you guys think of how the police were talking to Betty, more or less mocking her and making fun of her? And it's like, have you seen any airplanes, helicopters, trains, and like who does that? You know. And here she is trying to describe what she saw about the gray truck and everything else.
Yeah, they're like kind of they just rarely even ask her anything about that. Really, they're like they don't even. I don't know. It's kind of like they were brushing off the gray truck.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, have you seen any helicopters? I'm like, really? Well, you should know if there's helicopters in the area. I mean, yeah, they were kind of brushing her off big time.
With all them houses that they went to that they were just putting flyers in between the doors, I wonder how many of them they actually went back to later to check on.
Well,
Because here, when they canvass an area, they make note of if somebody's home or not, and then they come back. They don't leave a pamphlet. That way, they make sure that pamphlet gets put in the homeowner's hand and they
yes.
get interviewed.
Well, in some more of the footage, not tomorrow's, but the next day, there is footage that I've really never saw around. I just pulled it up last night and I was like, damn, I've never really saw this. And it is them distributing flyers and second checking some of these apartments where people is at home now. Where
Oh,
they
really?
Yeah, I had never seen it. I was like, damn, I didn't even know I had this.
See, I've never ever seen that.
I hadn't never seen it, Dave, and I
No.
have had it. I just never seen it. I was like, damn, I've never looked at this. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is different. Um, I've never, it was new to me too. How crazy is that? And I've had it sitting here on my computer for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
And I've never seen it either. It's just one of them that I never even opened and looked at.
I think we should watch it.
Yeah. Well, I've got it. I've got it set for day after tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday. So it's
Saturday.
gonna be it's gonna be Sunday's premiere and discussion. Tomorrow's
I'm free Sunday after 12.
oh yeah, it'll be I try to start the premieres around 5 and then we have our discussions, right after that.
All right, I'll be there.
So, but yeah, it's pretty interesting, y'all. I mean, honestly, I'd never seen it either. But yeah, they went back and they talked to some people where they had left them. You'll see how many red cars is actually in this neighborhood, and there's a lot. Ironically enough, there is a Mustang exactly like Chris's too. It's kind of weird, but it's a lady that's driving it. So yeah, we'll have that out Sunday. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the premier is going to be his first interview and then the discussion after, which also is pretty interesting. I'm trying to keep it in order of exactly, the times that it happened. Like what we're watching now is the last bit of the searching that happened on the 14th. And then, of course, we know this same evening, Chris went in for that little interview.
See, I always wondered why, like when they found the bullets on the ground there, why didn't they enter them into evidence? They never ever did. They just picked them up and that was it.
I know.
And
I
I
know.
always wondered if that had anything to do with the lady that called in saying that she heard a gunshot.
That's what I was going to say. It actually almost has to, don't it?
Yeah,
Because she said it was so loud. And she said it was so unusual, obviously, for it to happen like where it happened, that she even took a picture of the clock on her wall
yeah.
so she would know. And it was after Shanann was home. The time was.
See, but even with that, I always wondered because when I stumbled across that third dog, um, how close was that to where the dog found Shanann's scent?
Oh, yeah. Well, the one dog was sitting there just giving it hell
Yeah,
about
right. Yeah,
where the shell came. I mean, it was all over it. And then the handler was like, hush, stop, get
yeah.
away. And I'm like, damn, he's trying to tell you something. He's alerting to something. That
And see, that
showcase.
didn't ever make sense to me. And she
Yeah.
picked up that shell casing and nothing.
Yeah. And it's like right in the middle of the road, in the middle of a subdivision.
Yeah.
Like, what? And there was more than one, and then there was some other little round
There's a
thing
cylinder that you load it into the gun with.
see? Why would all that be? Why would somebody be standing in the middle of the road shooting at after 2 a.m., but
Yeah.
before daylight?
Makes no sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't, but you never hear anything else about it. Like maybe it had nothing to do with this case, possibly didn't. But it is weird.
Well, that's the same thing though as the red car. That with the flat tire, the window rolled down, no stereo in it. The only follow up they said was that what the heck was it? They traced it to a house in Denver. Nobody's lived there for 6 months, and the name on the registration at the time was NK's grandmother's maiden name, and that the car was never ever picked up. They left it there.
Yes. Well, also in the discovery, the one caller was adamant that Grand Am was part of this. I mean, he was adamant about that, right?
Yeah,
He said, "I am sure it is part of this. I know it's part of this, you know." And it was a red car broke down, and I mean, they were just adamant. And then when they checked to see who the owner of that car was, they went to the address listed, and the neighbors was like, "No, nobody's lived here in like a long time, you
yeah,
know."
at least 6 months.
Yeah. And
Hey,
what
Kim,
was
you
the last
you
name?
you posted that video, didn't you, where they found the gun shells, the shells?
Yeah, we just
We
watched
just
that.
watched
That
it.
was the premiere.
Yeah, Midge, if you want to go back and rewatch after we're done, you'll see it because they did run it.
Yeah, it's the one just before this live. And it's so odd about the gun shells and even that red car. That red car still gets to me. Wasn't that registered to someone with the last name of Garcia? Am I correct,
Yes,
Dave?
that's what I just said. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
okay. Garcia is definitely, and I can prove this easily, is Nicole Kassinger's family. Their last name is Garcia, 100%. I mean, that's easily proven. That's all in the discovery. You can pull up her uncle's obituary, and he just recently died, actually. Yeah, her family is Garcia's. And I'm not trying to put any points together that, you know, because I know the red car is something that people roll their eyes about. And to be quite honest, I did. I have too. I mean, just to be honest, I never really looked into the red car, but I mean, you know, when you're putting these pieces together, you gotta kind of put a little possibility in there when whoever the caller was adamant as hell. I mean, how many times did they call the cops back and tell them, Dave, this is part of this case? I know it is. And then when they checked that car, it belonged to a Garcia. It was very odd. Yes.
There's a comment for you there, Kimberly. Recently, there was a comment on someone YouTube from supposedly someone that grew up with NK. The person said that she had a history of aggression that had stabbed her friend's father.
Yeah, I got that actual screen grab of that, and
Hi, Amanda. Welcome.
we actually had a live, and there was several screenshots. And yeah, even this guy's daughter, she was also in a screenshot saying what happened. Her and Nicole were friends. So I can't say if there's any truth to it, but they sound like they're pretty legit that this happened because he kind of goes through the whole story. And she has been arrested several times.
Yeah, same thing with that. When she did do, or when she did stab somebody, she was an adult. She wasn't underage, so there wouldn't have been any reason why that record would have been swept underneath the counter or the cupboards or anywhere else,
Mhm.
unless there was pull from her dad, like you said to start off with.
Let me see. I should have that.
See, there was two red cars. One was registered to an FBI agent's wife. Then there was a Garcia car.
Well, to see. I have so much stuff on my computer. Oh my God. It's hard to find any one thing unless I've already got it ready, you know.
That's with my phone too. I've been dumping so much stuff off of it as I've been going through it and then reposting. There was like 4,200 screenshots and different files on my phone that I ended up turfing out in the last 2 months.
Oh my God. I know. It's crazy. My computer's covered up with stuff. I mean, literally covered up with things. And then if I don't have it ready, I'll never find it. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Well, I had over 5,000 pictures alone on my stupid phone. So,
Oh, there's Amanda.
yes.
Hello, Amanda. It's good to see you. How's baby? Y'all, Amanda just had the prettiest little boy. Oh my goodness. Hair, like, my goodness.
No, congratulations.
Okay, it was Albert. Okay, so where is Garcia coming in? I mean, I know Garcia. There was something about Garcia.
Yeah, there was two because there was a Garcia, and then there was another one where it was an active FBI agent's wife was another red car that was in the area. They had the license number. I should still have all that stuff too.
Yeah, I'm just Erica Garcia. That's the first thing that pops up in the discovery. Erica Garcia.
Is he sleeping
This
through
is
the night?
okay. This Erica Garcia wanted to be contacted by phone. She wants to know if the missing female drives a small silver SUV. Inform the Aurora Police Department about the information she had. Okay, that's the one that was calling in about I believe it was at a hospital, wasn't it? I think it was. Now let me see. 'Cause I know Garcia's in there, and but Garcia is a very common name too, right? Very common name.
Well, even Dwayne was using Garcia as an alias still.
Yeah,
Yes,
there are a lot of Garcias out there.
yes. It's a very common name. So that is the first place in the discovery that Garcia is mentioned. Erica Garcia. Wanted someone to call her. She wants to know if the missing female drives a small silver SUV. She informed the Aurora Police Department about the information that she had. That's the first Garcia.
You think maybe she mistake the white one for silver?
That's what I was thinking, but I believe if I'm not mistaken, this was a vehicle that was spotted, I think, at a hospital. That was like abandoned at a hospital. So I think it didn't have anything to do with the case. Let me see where, and Garcia is mentioned again, so let me find that. Okay, here it is. Let's see. here. And where it's mentioned here, it says, tell there is a party by the name of Juanita from Deep Run, North Carolina, who stated that she saw a man on Facebook calling himself Johnson Garcia, who she thinks is the man involved. He stated he had a daughter named Bella and a wife that was a crazy ex and was stalking him. He sent Juanita a picture, unknown if it is the same or not. Juanita has more information. Yeah, so see that this is some man on Facebook with the last name of Garcia talking about the guy he knows has a daughter named Bella and a wife that is a crazy ex and stalking him. He sent Juanita a picture. Wow. Okay. It's been a long time, y'all, since I looked through this. And sometimes looking back through it, you're like, what? Wait a minute. Aw, I bet he is so good. He's so cute. Jeez, at the hair, girl. I bet you had heartburn all day, every day, forever. He's a doll. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Amanda. How strange it is. There's like now there's what 3 Juanitas in it. The psychic, whoever this is, and Troy's wife, all Juanita. I don't think Juanita. I mean, I know that you hear the name a lot, but I don't think it's really that in quote common. Like it's an older name, right?
Right. And I don't see it being common around Colorado area.
No, I mean it's not here. You know. Amanda. Y'all put in Amanda's website.
I
Y'all go
did.
check her channel out too.
I put it down there.
Yeah, she's got an awesome channel as well, y'all. Got to go check it out.
Yes, she does.
She really does.
And she has one of those relaxing voices like Kim too, so beware.
She does, and y'all might get to hear the little baby sounds in the background, which are so sweet.
I still can't believe how much hair that baby has.
Oh,
I
my
know, it's
goodness.
adorable.
Oh my geez, he's so cute.
Makes me wish I could have babies still.
I know.
But mine just graduated, so I don't think I want to start over again.
No, you said you're going to get a baby goat, so.
Yeah,
I am. I cannot wait to get my goat, guys. Oh, so excited.
they're so cute too. I want a wallaby. That's what I want, a wallaby.
Those are adorable.
No, I always wanted a kangaroo. That's the closest I'm gonna get.
Didn't one just get away over at Tennessee from the zoo?
Yeah. Yeah, one escapes from the zoo.
Aw. Okay, y'all, we've been 2 hours. We can been here. I think we need to just call it in and get everything ready for tomorrow's premiere. You know, we'll try to start around the same time we did tonight with the premiere and the live. So I hope to see you all there. I'm glad you
Yep,
all.
and then the one for Sunday, so we'll have a busy weekend with everybody.
Yeah, we've been at this for what now? A few days now, so we'll get it all out there pretty soon.
Yeah, if we do it at 8, I should be good because I don't have any treatments tomorrow. I don't have to do any infusions, so I should be good to go.
Good deal, honey. And if you're not, just let us know. We worry.
Oh, I'll be
Worry,
there.
worry.
Don't you worry. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, good night, everyone. I'm sorry I got here late to the party, but
Hey, we
love
just glad to
all
know
you
you're okay.
guys.
We got to see Amanda with the baby. Got to see a lot. Glad to see everybody tonight. Y'all go have a great
Yes, and y'all
rest of
go
your
check out her
night.
channel.
Yes, check her out. She's got an awesome channel. She really goes over things really deeply too, and has been studying this case since a long time.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope you all, Dave, you want to tell everybody good night?
Yes, I
think we-
put that in chat.
Oh, okay. All right.
You guys
awesome.
were talking.
I'm
I was
sorry.
just saying my good night without typing.
Yeah.
So, good night, everyone. God bless, and everybody take care.
Yes. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave us a comment below on your thoughts of this video. And until next time, this is